Let's review this game. So the game started with French defense, and this is like 92. White pushed the pawn, and bishop d3. It's called Tarrasch closed variation. Whatever it is called. So the essence of this game that is white has a very sharp light square bishop aiming at this diagonal, and after c3 white has a very solid structure at the center, and from black's perspective it's important for us to fight at the center. How can we challenge the center in a good way that determines how will the game end up. So far I think both sides made the book move, which is great. And here black moved the queen to b6. Yeah, or we can take the pawn. I think either move is fine. And queen to b6, knight to f3. So we play bishop to e7. So actually instead of move the bishop to e7, we can take the pawn. And white probably take that with the c pawn, so we have connected center pawn. And black can play bishop to b4 to check the king. And if white block the check with the bishop, we can push f6, so we can fight against the center. And the reason we offer a dark square bishop trade is because white has two weaknesses on the chessboard. These two pawns, b2 and d4, are all placed at dark square. So if we trade dark square bishops, so we basically remove a potential defender of these two pawns. And also another thing is our dark square bishop, if you look at the position, it's really hard to attack these two pawns. So probably our queen is the efficient attacker on these two pawns. So we can trade the dark square bishop just to make our attack on these two pawns become easier. So that's the reason we play bishop b4. So in this game we play like bishop e7 and white castle, b castle, and b3. Well, I don't think b3 is necessary because now the pawn is well defended by the c1 bishop. I think white should divide the rook to strengthen excuse me, to strengthen the center, and then later once the knight move to f4, g3, whatever, the rook can maneuver to the king side. So most of the cases in this position, white is going to set up a plan to attack the king side because white has a large space than black at the king side. And on the other hand, black should find a way to attack on the queen side. For example, as I said, these two pawns. And we need to think about a way to develop our light square bishop, and therefore we can move our rook to c file to control or attack on the c file. So that's what we should focus on. So b3, and we play f6. We want to challenge the center. I think that's good. I think that's really active. I like that. Knight f6. So as I said, now we have a space for allowing to our bishop. Hopefully you can move bishop to d7 and later rook to c8. And after the trade, I think the upside for us is we have this semi-open file, but we also need to be aware of this downside. There's an outpost, and we have a backward pawn, so white can control the e file. And another good thing for us is we can move bishop to d6 sometime to target at this diagonal. Bishop e3, and we play a5. So I assume we want to expand our space at the queen side. So another alternative move could be bishop d7. As I said, after move the knight to f6, we can move the bishop and later rook to c8. Compare with the b file or a file, I think c file is the prioritized one we should focus on because it's very easy to have an open file. a4, so the b3 could be a potential target. Queen c7. To be honest, I I don't quite understand the purpose of queen c7. So instead, I will move bishop to d7. Bishop, okay, bishop f4, and then we offer a bishop trade. That's good. And white doesn't accept the trade. So yeah, we can actually take the bishop. And if we trade everything, and we, for example, trade the pawn, and later we can probably move the knight to e4. So the d4 pawn is a isolated pawn. If white take our knight, we can attack the knight and take the d4 afterwards. Otherwise, we have a very strong knight at center, and also we attack the d2. Yeah, that's a position we can consider. So in this game, we play knight e4 straight away, but I think there's a problem, right? If bishop take our bishop, we will take, we will lose c5, and we take that with the queen. I feel like white can play queen e3, so white has like placed two threats on either the e4 and the c5. Yeah, there could be some problem with the center. So during this game, yeah, this is how I think white play very accurate with this two moves. Take a pawn, move knight back. So now white has a very good control at the e5, knight e5, makes sense. Knight d7, f4, knight f6. I don't think we need. It's good for us to move the knight back to f6. I think instead of moving this knight, we can actually control b5. We can trade with the light square bishop, and also this is a light outpost for our knight. Even though it's less good as e5, but yeah, we can control that. Bishop d7. So now we move bishop d7. Remember, I said maybe 10 moves ago we have the chance to move bishop d7, but we didn't do that. So which slows down our control at the c file. Rook e1. So this is a weakness. Rook e8. But I don't think we need to protect this for now because we have bishop protecting that. If white take our knight, we can take over the c pawn, and we have a very good defender. So I'm still thinking we should be active to control the c file. So maybe white can take our bishop and take the knight, take the pawn, trade, and we can take d4 or f4. So I don't think that's a problem. And also knight d4, we can win the b3. So actually black is slightly better. We are also attacking f4. So we should be active to control the c file. Rook c1, queen b4. We want to attack b3. So knight e2. Yeah, that's a trap. If I take, there is a discovered attack. But we can trick the knight probably and attack d4. Yeah, it's also a good move to attack the weakness. Rook c5, exchange. Knight g4, queen to c2. Oh, queen to h3. Okay, so yeah, that's annoying. White is attacking our h7, or maybe we can play h6 first and then knight to g4. But I'm still thinking we should like control the c file. Otherwise, the two rooks will be super powerful if white double the two rooks at the c file. Okay, yeah, we see. So now white has very strong rooks. If the rook reaches c7, that's a problem for us. Bishop c6. Yeah, we can see the intention of white that trying to open up c file. And we accept the change. I think we have to, otherwise we will lose the b7 pawn. Okay, so we lost the pawn. Can we make queen to a7? Probably rook c5, c7 will still lose the pawn. Yeah. So yeah, that's the problem. I think we are slow in controlling c file. So if we move the rook at c5 as early as possible, we can resolve the problem. Okay, yeah. See, these two rooks controlling the 7th rank. I think we are it's impossible for us to defend the g7. And also the knight is pinned. Yeah, I think maybe, yeah, in g5. Maybe we can move the knight to f5 if white double the rook. At least knight f5 can protect g7. We can then maybe move the queen to g5 and later to d2 to attack the white king. But we move the knight to g4, so it looks aggressive, but actually it's a very passive move because the knight cannot move anywhere. And the queen is also stuck at g5 because the queen has to protect the knight's pinned. And after rook c7, I think we are losing. We cannot protect g7 basically. Yep, that's it.